Hi, I'm Wendy Yellen, and this is video 1. We're going to go straight for what I think is most important, dealing with fear. I'm considering this your portable well-being pack, how to find your calm in the storm. And I have some notes. I'm going to use them a little bit to keep me focused, so I make sure to cover everything I really want to give you here. This is going to be an experiential video, so best done in where you can actually go through it, because the experience itself is going to be so helpful. At least that's my experience and my experience with my clients. So you want to experience it. So your mind, there's probably a roller coaster of emotions going on inside of you now. There are fears, hopes, concerns. You're probably processing what's going on physically with you, as well as the people that you love, feeling need to be in contact or not in contact. So many, listening to the news, trying not to listen to too much news, staying informed, all of this on top of trying to keep your life going on whatever level you can. And that's a lot. And what I'm noticing in myself and in my clients is that what's most helpful to be able to be in that center of calm in the self is to repeatedly do things that take you back there. That's what we're going to do. You're probably also someone who wants to move through this time with integrity, with heart, with your family intact on all levels, and possibly even making a contribution by who you're being in your life with yourself and your life with people that you care about, maybe even in a larger world. But it's important to you, and probably contact with something greater, or with a largest part of yourself with a capital S, is also important. So that's where we're going to be doing over these series of videos. For health, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional health, and I'm really underlining physical here. It's important to be able to stay out of panic and anxiety, or at least to move out of it when we go there, so that we're not just in adrenal overdrive, and being able to discern, being able to hear the information that's coming in about how to take care of ourselves and the ones that we love, and be able to sift the wheat from the chaff so we really can hone in on what's important. What people often do with fear is they don't like it. Fear, panic, anxiety, they don't like it, so they try to push it away. However, that generally doesn't work. It just pushes it under the rug. So what we're going to do here is, instead of pushing it away, we're going to deal with it in one specific way in this video, so that rather than have it keep pushing at the edges of our mind all the time, we're actually connecting to it differently, dealing with it differently, and over time, ratcheting it down. That's been my own experience. One of the ways you might find your fear expressing itself, and I'm seeing this with lots of people, is getting really busy, but actually not doing the things that you feel in truth would be the right things to do. Also, that tends to create an opening for the fear to come back when you're not busy, or just being in a state of constant anxiety. So it leaves us feeling unsettled. And this is also a problem, because that kind of heat, that overheated anxiety, is not good for our immune system. It also stops us from thinking creatively and discerning what's the right path in this moment. And also just taking in the surrealness of what we're encountering, which is really important, because that is our reality right now. And we need to come to terms with that in our own way. and move through it in a way that supports us. So I'm going to walk you through very, very carefully an eidetic image that will help with fear. Now, Eidetics is a very deep and profound process that's been around, been known about since the ancient Greeks, who thought these kind of images, which are different from visualizations, were so incredible. They called them gifts from the gods. It's a process that's going to use your mind in a way you probably have never used it before. So if you're used to visualizations or any kind of process that's more popular out there right now, and you want to try this, it'll be really important to listen carefully and follow along with the instructions, because we're using your mind in a way you've probably never used it before. And it takes a little bit of listening and tuning in so that you actually can let this process work for you, rather than just do a cognitive kind of fix, which is at a different level than what we're going to do here. You're going to want to give your image free rein, like let it have a mind of its own. We're not trying to feel better, so you're not pushing at yourself to feel less fear. What we're going to do is we're going to watch what we see, what our deeper mind is showing us in this specific image, and then feel what happens. See and feel, see and feel. Thinking and meaning and symbolism have nothing, no part of this system. It's deeper actually than that, as you'll see. So for sure, don't try to force yourself to calm down for all the reasons that I said. You want to see and feel. Yes, we want to get to a calmer place, but we're not trying to force it. As Bonnie Raitt says, I love this line, you can't make your heart feel something it won't. You can't make yourself feel something it's not ready to feel. So that's not where we're going to go. This image, like all eidetic images, were developed by Dr. Akhtar Asen, my mentor and friend and teacher, and please use your integrity about the body of his lifetime work. I'm going to walk you through this image, and I'm going to show you a little bit about mine. Okay, so feel what you're feeling right now. You can do this. I would suggest you do it with your eyes closed, but you can do it either way. Feel what you're feeling. I'm feeling nervous about making the video and also just a little anxious, period. Now look at your brain, and you can actually let yourself see an image of your brain right now. And I want you to look for, both on the surface of the brain and deep inside in the hidden places, I want you to notice what the temperature of your brain is in this image. Not what you think it is, but what it actually is. You can touch it with your finger in the image. You can look at the color, and you definitely want to look deep inside, and you want, because these things hide from us too, so you want to look for the hidden places. And you'll see different areas, or you'll sense different areas, but even better if you can see. So I notice my attention is being particularly drawn to a certain spot, and I see it very vaguely. That's okay. Some of you are going to see this very vividly. Now, see that you have all the cold, slushy ice, natural ice in the world at your disposal, and start to shovel in this image, as you look, cold, slushy ice on your brain, and particularly in the hot spots. You'll probably want to pause the recording and really give yourself some time. I strongly encourage you to do that. What do you see? What do you feel? You may see things like steam. It may be vague, it may be vivid. You may see that it just melts immediately. You may see that the spot of heat or reddish starts very slowly, perhaps, to cool down. And you want to notice, what do you feel? What do you experience as you see this? Keep pouring cold slushy ice, natural cold slushy ice. You have an unlimited supply on your brain, and notice what you feel like as you watch this. Give yourself plenty of time. Pause. Do this for another minute or two if you need to, and then come back. All right, so I'm going to assume you took some time with that. I'm going to tell you what's happening in my image. Now, this is not for you to do exactly what I'm doing. I'm giving you what is called co-consciousness. So I'm giving you my image that I'm seeing right now. I'm going to walk you through it. And you can watch my image with me and notice what you see and feel. It'll also help you know how to work with an image, but absolutely, there's not any one way to see an image. Everybody's image will be totally unique to you and to what's going on with you at this exact moment. So my attention is, and I'd suggest again that you watch this and see what you see and feel. My brain, I'm particularly drawn to the bottom right, lower back part where I don't see it so much, but it's harder for me to see right now, but I sense that spot needs attention. So and I've been doing this image many times over the past days. And so I'm pouring cold slushy ice down deep down into the crevices. And I feel like I want to fill it up almost with these little chunks of ice. I'm actually getting freezing as I'm doing this, but you may or may not feel that kind of cold. I didn't for the beginning many years, but it still helped me. As I keep seeing that, and I'm taking my time, I'm really seeing almost like big chunks of ice kind of jamming their way down there. I see them starting to melt. I feel like I need to stay with this image for a while. So I'm going to just do that. You can fast forward if you don't want to stick with me. Actually, yeah. So I feel a little pressure because I'm making the video and I don't want to keep you waiting. But I'm going to stick with my process. And I keep bringing my eyes back to seeing the ice in my brain down to those deeper places. And I'm actually beginning to really like the intensity of the chunks of ice. And I'm starting to feel more solid in myself. I could do this for a long time, but I'm going to also give you a quick image of what happened the other day. The ice went into one of those spaces between the lobes, or one of the crevices in the brain, and those curves of the brain, and it became a river of ice with huge chunks of ice floating through. And it began, I'm going to do it in the present, and I see the cold water actually making the sides of the banks of the river in my brain cool and cold. And I feel like the container of it, I feel the strength of it, I feel the cool of it. And I can actually feel that I've ratcheted down both in terms of whatever anxiety I was feeling about the video and just anxiety. I can feel the ratchet down. Now, one thing that's really important, first you want to notice how you feel, of course. And if that helped you, of course, feel free to see and feel that image, my image, co-consciously. But you want to keep doing your own. You want to go back, see the brain, see where it's hot, pour cold slushy ice on the brain. You don't want to, again, underlining, you don't want to have to push yourself to feel differently. Just notice what does happen. For myself, especially if I'm in high anxiety right now, which comes and goes, I notice if I work with this just for 90 seconds, 2 minutes, I ratchet down. And then if I keep working with other processes, or even this one another couple times throughout the day, just for 90 seconds, 2 minutes, see and feel, I notice that the degree to which I'm feeling anxiety keeps going down to a lower normal, lower. It just keeps happening. That's what you can expect from repeatedly going back to this place and letting it help you. Let me take a quick look at what else I wanted to say. So that's my recommendation. Do it a few times a day. Notice what's happening, but don't say to yourself, oh, I don't feel like completely as if everything is fine in the world, and let it go. No, you want to notice any change, and you want to really honor that, because if you're going in a calmer direction or a more centered, cleaner direction, if your shoulders are going down, your breath is deepening on its own, whatever, then you know you're going in a good direction, and keep doing it. That's what helps. It's the returning that really helps. You could keep track in a notebook what you're seeing and feeling. You will be very glad you did at the end of this if you actually do keep track. In every other video that I'm going to do for you, you'll receive another process, another experiential process, which you can do on your own, pull it out as your toolkit. And we're going to do support for work, relationships, support for living with someone 24/7 who you actually do love in better times, but it maybe is a little bit challenging right now, at connection to yourself and something greater, being overly busy and being able to address that in different ways, but not getting things done, and much, much more. If you have things you want me to cover, let me know, and I'll see you on the next video.